Hello and welcome. Kerry here from Healing Humanity, the Power of a Proper Human Diet. I have Adam with me along with Emily. How's it going, guys?
Perfectly
Hi.
good. Awesome. Thanks, Gary, for having us.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
joining me. Looks like Robin has just joined as well, so I'm going to let her in.
Awesome.
Hey,
Hi,
Robin.
Robin.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Good to see you all.
Good to
Awesome.
see you also. Thank you for joining us. So we have Robin, Adam, and Emily here. And I have links in the description to hackyourhealth.com and to Adam's YouTube channel and Emily's YouTube channel. But thank you for joining us, Robin. I was looking forward to talking to you and sharing with our audience here a little bit more about Hack Your Health. I know Adam, Emily, and myself, we're excited to attend this year. Emily was there last year, but this will be my first year going. So we're hoping to learn a little bit more about the event and what's going on, kind of the story behind it, some of the things we can expect while we're there, and then maybe take some questions from the audience if that works for you.
Of course, absolutely. Where do you want me to start? There is so much happening during that 3 days. My head is spinning right now.
Could we start just real quick? I know the event name is Hack Your Health, but there's a little confusion with the former name. Could we talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, KetoCon was the previous name. KetoCon, the Science and Stories of Keto. We launched in 2017. And that was a result of me and a few other people that were really passionate about what we had learned about metabolic health, how to utilize the ketogenic diet to improve our health. I personally had huge health breakthroughs, lost a lot of weight, and turned around a lot of things that were going in the wrong direction for my health. And I had no experience doing events or producing events, but I had been a speaker and a sponsor at financial treasury management events in my previous career. So we kind of backed into doing events from that experience. But we chose KetoCon, the Science and Stories of Keto, because all of us had improved health and in one way or another. And we had this huge community on social media, well over 500,000 people that were in all these groups and different things we were doing. And everyone felt very isolated. We were all, in different areas of the country, and we didn't feel like we had a support system outside of being online together. So we decided to do this live event. We did it in 2017, 18, and 19, and we're planning for 2020 when COVID happened. And so we couldn't do 2020, although we did do like a virtual version of the event, which was kind of embarrassing, but it was all we could do. But when we came back in 2022, it was very clear to me that if I wanted to help more people, if I wanted to throw a wider net, I was going to have to think about rebranding, because the word keto was turning some people away. And I got very lucky that the carnivore community was still interested. But I mean, outside of the keto and carnivore community, I really wanted to reach more people. So this is I'll tell you the true story of how this happened. My son runs this company with me, and he manages the expo hall during the event, and he does all the exhibitor sales. And we were on a road trip to North Carolina from Florida, and we were in the car trying to figure out how are we going to rebrand this, because we don't have the money to hire a marketing company to help us. We're going to have to go by our gut instincts. And we just started throwing names around of what could encompass everything, not just nutrition, but other areas of health. And Ryan came up with Hack Your Health, and it just seemed to kind of like click for me. It just made sense. It could incorporate so much more than just nutrition, although that's still the foundation of the event. So I got on my phone in the middle of the night on GoDaddy and bought the URL, and that's how we chose the name. But I got lucky because it's worked out in our favor. I mean, it's just drawn a much larger audience, and that was the goal. So it worked. And so that's how we got to Hack Your Health. And so now nutrition, like I said, is still the underlying theme of the event. I have a banned ingredient list. We still operate from the same banned ingredient list that we had before. And we're bringing in as much information about nutrition and all other areas of health and mindset, physical health, bone health, skin health, everything that you can imagine, hopefully.
Yeah, the lineup is incredible. I was just rechecking on your website. Could you maybe tell us a little bit about the speakers and what can we expect there?
Well, there's no way I'm going to be able to name them all because there's more than 70 speakers on there. But so as you know, Sean Baker will be there. The bigger names in carnivore will be there. So Robert Kiltz will be there, and Anthony Chafee will be there. Bella will be there. You guys will be there. And so we have several carnivore panels taking place. Judy Cho is going to be moderating a panel about triumphs and troubleshooting on the carnivore diet for people who are struggling. Sean Baker is going to be speaking, doing a keynote. Some other notable names. I mean, there's so many of them, I really don't know where to start. In my head, I'm looking at the page of speakers. I'm thinking Annette Bosworth, who happens to be a very dear friend of mine as well. JJ Virgin will be there. Sean Wells. I'm going to draw a blank. I can't do that. I can't list them all. There's just, I mean, there's so many people. We're going to be covering topics like sleep, red light therapy, the importance of fasting. I can't even name them all.
So much. I'm so excited. I'll pop off the ones because I kind of study the schedule and look at it and I get so excited. I mean, I'm actually really excited to hear Dr. Berg. Like that's a big, you know, I've never had that experience before. And so my background is keto and fasting, and he was the one that kind of, you know, I learned about, well, him and Dr. Funk. And so to me, you have so many keto OG. And I love this journey that, you know, so many of us have been on, that we're like a little portion of the keto family. How have you seen that happen? What's your feedback on, you know, I mean, you've been watching this carnivore movement explode, and we kind of somehow found you and found this conference, and we all just gather there because we want to get together. And, you know, this has been the spot. I don't know if it's because it's Texas or barbecue or, you know, what's going on here, but tell me about that.
Well, I don't think the fact that it's barbecue in Texas hurts us. I think that definitely helps. But, well, you know, the people in Texas are very free thinking. So, I mean, only half of the attendees come locally. The rest come from outside of Texas. But the people in Austin seem to be empowered to think on their own, to make those kind of decisions on their own. So I think we've drawn the crowd that way. But also, as I've seen and you've seen, and was both of our experiences, I mean, keto did help me a lot, but it wasn't until I took it a step further to continue the healing. But I don't think it happened with me this way by accident, because I had a lot of mental and emotional stuff that I had to get over as well. And so I was able to utilize the ketogenic diet to address my health concerns. But in order to continue to heal and continue to improve, I made other changes. And I think that a lot of people that come to keto experience that as well.
It opens the door to other modalities, right?
Right.
For someone who's never attended, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to all of the speakers and seeing some of these individuals in real life instead of through a computer screen. Right. But you have some other things going on as well. Can you talk a little bit about what you have beyond the speakers?
Sure. Well, the expo hall floor, right now we have 75 companies signed up to be there. We have space to accommodate about 100. And you'll see, so we have 2 companies that are bringing cold plunges. So you'll be able to do like an ice bath or a cold plunge. We have sauna companies where you can sit inside of a red light sauna and experience that. Red light therapy devices, massage. We have hyperbaric chambers where you can try out hyperbaric treatment.
Wow.
There's a lot. We have a company coming called Jasper that makes home equipment for filtering the air in your home. So you can, explore all of that. We have a movement zone where we're going to be doing breathwork sessions in the morning, hula hoop classes in the afternoon, functional movement classes. We have a networking lounge where we're going to be doing cooking demos and book signings and, celebrity meet and greets, that kind of stuff. We have Holy Cow Farms is going to be there, and they're going to be cooking, beef and sausage and everything else right there on the expo hall floor. Pedersen Farms will be there doing the same.
Oh, I was hoping last year that was the highlight. I'd always just kind of swoop back around there. Oh, they've got some more coming out. So there was there were many chances to get to taste. What do you think carnivores from that perspective are going to enjoy the little nibbles here and there? Who do you have coming for that realm?
Yeah, well, they're going to love Holy Cow Farms. So Holy Cow Farms is, they're a local ranchers just outside of Austin. And they're also sponsoring the VIP dinner. So they're going to provide all the meat for the VIP dinner. But they cook right in their booth. And then you can actually meet the people who are running these farms. And they're going to be part of the regenerative agriculture panel. So that will be really interesting. I'm really excited about that. And I mean, it may seem like an offshoot of all this, but I really don't think that a lot of people have an insight into where their food comes from, and the topic of red meat out there today is varied on both sides. And it seems like because of environmental issues that have happened in the past 6 months, that prices are going up and availability is going down. And I think it's really important for people to understand that if you know where your food comes from, and you can actually source from local sources, you don't have to go to the big box supermarkets. I think it's really important for people to understand the value of that. The convenience of going to your grocery store is one thing, but the mindset of supporting local farms, understanding where your food comes from, and actually supporting your local community by doing that is a whole different mindset. And I think I'm excited about like broaching the subject and bringing that up during this event, letting people, planting the seed for people.
I absolutely love that. I'm very fortunate. My neighbor down the road, I get all of my beef from him. He's a 6th generation farmer, but you're absolutely right, Robin. Just to be able to shake his hand, talk to him, ask some specific questions. It's so much nicer than going to the grocery store and literally driving by and seeing the cows and seeing how they're treated and things like that is definitely a game changer.
Yeah.
I love that the event too, that like for a lot of people listening, myself included, I started doing carnivore for certain health reasons, mainly diet, losing weight, things like that. But then it seems like you start doing all of these other things like the cold plunge or the sauna or getting exercise or fresh air, resetting your circadian rhythm. So it's really great that you're covering a lot of those things at the event. I'm looking forward to learning some more on those fronts.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to helping people put all the pieces together.
Right.
Awesome. Robin, I had a quick question. So you had mentioned the banned ingredient list. Can you kind of expand on that a little bit?
Sure. So, no sugar, obviously, no seed oils, no grains. So, I mean, it's pretty basic, but, no manufactured protein, that kind of stuff. It would be the obvious. So if you're following a ketogenic diet, you would know what you're not going to include in your diet, and those foods are not allowed. So there's a couple of exceptions to that. So I'm seeing an influx of people who are coming into this space that don't necessarily follow a ketogenic diet or a carnivore diet. They are metabolically flexible. They're healthy and they are very fit. And so there are also people who are looking for solutions or alternatives to standard products on the shelf for their families. So their families, like their kids, may not necessarily be keto or carnivore. So there's 2 companies that are coming this year that we've never had before. One is a pasta company. They make an alternative to regular pasta. And the second is Masa chips. Masa makes corn chips that are fried in tallow or prepared in tallow, and it's non-GMO corn. And it's just tallow, corn, and salt. So we're bringing them in this year for those people. And I'm, to be honest with you, treading really lightly in that space because I don't want it to be a negative experience for them. And I also don't want it to be a negative experience for the attendees. So I don't want the, the company to get a lot of backlash from people. What are you doing here? That's corn, that kind of thing.
Right.
So I am going to do some talking about, respecting what's best for other people in comparison to what's best for you. On the same note, or on another note, I will not allow sugar in there. So that'll always be, regardless of what diet you follow. I'm not going to allow sugar in there.
That's awesome. And you touched on what my next question would be, which is Hack Your Health having a broader scope now.
Yeah.
You're bringing in, newer companies. Is there other companies potentially that's new because of that broader scope, and also speakers?
Yes and yes. So, there's some companies, let me think of who may not have come in the past. Because of the word hack in the title, we've started attracting companies that consider themselves in the biohacking space. And that's another part of this picture that I'll be addressing at the event. So there's a big misconception, and I really don't know where it comes from, but that biohacking is this magical, ethereal process that only people who are, mega wealthy can afford to do. And that's so not the case. I wish we had a better word for it. Maybe I'll come up with one driving from Florida to North Carolina sometime. But I want people to understand the concept behind biohacking and Hack Your Health. So there are some companies that consider themselves in that space. A lot of these companies do, actually. They consider themselves biohacking companies. And what was the other question you asked me?
Speakers, any new speakers with the broader scope?
Yeah, well, Max Lugavere. So Max Lugavere is a pretty prominent voice in the wellness space. He doesn't necessarily, support low carb diets, but look at him. He's like probably his late 30s, early 40s, and very fit. But he comes from a totally different space where he got involved in the wellness space when he saw his mother suffering at a young age with Alzheimer's. And that he just dove right into nutrition. So I feel like he's making a really big impact on younger generations because he is younger and he's drawing people like him to help educate people. So that's somebody that I probably wouldn't have brought in the past because he just doesn't subscribe to a low carbohydrate diet. He's also not subscribing to eating a bunch of sugar. So I think he's more balanced in that way. Let's see. Who else?
Billier, right?
Oh, I'm sorry?
Do you have Tom Billier to share? I thought I saw that. I don't know if I'm saying his name right.
No.
Okay.
No. One of the speakers who's not on the website right now, we just added Philip Ovadia, who's a heart surgeon.
Hey, come on now.
He'll be at the event. I'm really excited about that. He contacted me through his I Fix Hearts company.
I Fix Hearts. There we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's going to be there exhibiting, and he's going to be on one of the panels. Let's see what else. I never would have had a hula hoop class at this event in the past because everybody was there for keto snacks. And I guess I should say add this as well. So one of the draws for this event in past years was the fact that people could walk in there with an empty bag and bring home, tons of keto snacks. And I loved the companies and the people that were supporting us, and they still adhere to the banned ingredient list. But I really wanted this event to be so much more than just food. It's fun to try stuff, but I didn't want people who were only coming so they could fill up bags of free snacks. So, I'm excited about that too, that there's so much variety.
What I see and what I experienced is just so much connection in every little corner and every little pocket. And, I'm so hyper when I see people I'm excited to see. So I was, just jumping up and down and bursting and whatever. But you just see all of these people that are just have a shared passion. And so a lot of people are there as seekers to kind of get information. But a lot of us are there because this is like our main passion in life.
Right.
And so and we make our friends crazy because they don't want to hear one more thing about, improving or optimization. They're like, I'm fine. I don't want to optimize. And so
Right.
having that kindred spirit of optimization there and just like an open exchange of ideas, for me, it just kind of fed my intellect. It fed my enthusiasm. And this was, across all of the optimism conversation. This wasn't a conversation about this little sect or that little sect.
Right.
And so that's what I've gotten to enjoy, and why I was like, oh man, I want this to be a regular thing, and we have our own kind of community that kind of comes back again and again. I'm so happy that you have been able to go through the stress, the work, the time to create like a little home for us to come and be together. So special.
Well, you're making me sound much better than I am, because I mean, I created it for myself.
Right.
Because I need it. I need it too. So, I mean, I think that, I've shared with other people, that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me doing it, is that community and the connection. And that, I think what you just explained, Emily, what you feel when you are, when you walk in that expo hall floor or that expo hall, the energy in that room is totally different than outside of it. And that is because you've got a couple thousand people all in the same space that are all on a health journey. So they're there for a positive reason. They're there for improvement. They're there to share what they've learned with each other. So I don't mean to sound kooky, but they just all vibrate on a different level. They're just,
Great.
that feeds me. That I feel when I'm doing this, I feel that this is how I'm making a difference, by bringing all these people together and furthering the movement of people understanding how to take care of their health.
I absolutely love that. I'm kind of more cynical, and when I started Carnivore, I'm like, what's so hard? You kind of just eat meat, and like, what is there to it? But when you get together with the community and other like-minded individuals,
yeah,
it's just amazing. I don't know how you're doing this, Robin. I did a little meetup here in our small town at our movie theater. We had Dr. Hampton on the screen, and it was 100 people, and it was really fun meetup. It was educational and everything. But afterwards, my big takeaway was, it was just so amazing hanging out with other like-minded individuals. The energy was crazy. You have that carnivore glow or carnivore zen or whatever it is going on. So that's something I'm definitely looking forward to at Hack Your Health.
Yeah. Well, you just nailed it. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's great to come, to be together with people who are all passionate about wellness in whatever regard. It makes you feel part of something that's bigger than you.
Right. So we have a lot of people in the chat right now. For anyone interested in learning more, the website is hackyourhealth.com. And we have a promo code SBG. And so that is in the description as well as the website. We have some questions in the sidebar too here, I think. But I guess I'm going to go through some of the questions here in the sidebar. Adam, Emily, if you have any other questions in the meantime. Oh, here's one from our friend Lori Carnivore Cheer. Thanks, Lori. Are there any activities that planned around yoga, tai chi,
Qigong,
etc.?
Qigong.
So I don't have those types of classes planned. I do have the hula hoop class, and I have a functional movement class. There's a local girl, her name is Francesca Martinez, that does functional movement classes. It's a lot more than just like body weight exercises. It's functional movement. She's going to be teaching a class every day. There's a few things that people should know. I mean, the Palmer Event Center is a convention center. It's your standard concrete floors, very high ceilings, concrete block walls, and doing classes in an environment like that is tough. And the weather in Austin is unpredictable. So for us to plan to do something outside is tough as well, because it could either be 100 degrees or raining. So we've opted to keep everything inside as much as possible.
All right. Robin, having done this for several years, things are kind of evolving and getting bigger. Do you get a chance to partake or enjoy any of it, or is it just kind of chaos from your perspective?
Well, God, I hope it's not chaos. Sometimes it is chaos. I do get to enjoy it. I mean, I think I kind of enjoy the chaos. That's probably why, why I'm good at this. But I usually do a DEXA scan when I'm there. So I didn't bring it up before. Body Spec is there, and I think they're bringing 6 vans, and they're going to be doing DEXA scans every, couple of minutes. So we have a reservation site up for ticket holders where you can reserve a spot. So I usually get a DEXA scan. I don't do the cold plunge, but I do it at home. I'm just too embarrassed to run around in my bathing suit, so I don't do it. I do like the hyperbaric chambers. I love the sauna. So, and I'm always looking for steak samples. So I do a lot of that. And I try to make as many of the presentations that I can. So, I mean, I don't sit around during the event, but I do go to the keynote presentations. I go to the breakout rooms and do head counts and see how things are going in each room. But I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. So I don't have time to like relax. No.
So one of my many memorable moments from last year was actually opening, I think it was your granddaughter, right? Was she up there on stage kind of jamming and dancing? And yeah, it just kind of took the whole level like, okay, here's a nice icebreaker for everybody. Is she going to be around this year?
Well, I just found out that she's not. I thought that they were all going to be there. So my granddaughter loves to come on the stage with me and open the show.
Yeah.
She's not going to be there this year, sadly. So I may have to rent a kid.
Somebody to get the dance party going, right?
Yeah, I'm really sad that she's not going to be there. She's kind of like almost like a security blanket for me. So I'm not used to being up on the stage a lot. I'm always behind the scenes, but I go up on the stage to open the show and to close the show, and intermittently throughout the event. And having her with me is kind of like it kind of settles me. Like I forget about the fact that there's a couple thousand people looking at me and waiting for me to say something, because she's my grandchild. So my priority attention is really on her. So it helps me a lot, but I'm not going to have her this year. So I'm going to have to be a grown up and do it by myself.
I'll still get up and dance. We make I'm curious about, so you have seen over this time documentaries, films, like you've seen this whole thing come together. What have you noticed? What advice do you have for the Healing Humanity team? Like you've been involved with Brian Sanders, I saw was going to be on the schedule, sharing some things, having some things out with Food Lies. What's your perspective, and what have you noticed about these?
About the films?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, all of them are different in their own, all of them are slightly different. I mean, you guys are the ones who are really changing the world. I'm reaching a small group of people, and like the groundswell that I can create is a couple thousand people at a time. But you guys are the ones that are really, really moving the needle. You have the ability to reach much more people, many more people. So I don't have any suggestions for you or recommendations. What I really have is praise for everything that you guys are doing.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate that.
Thank you so much for that.
And speaking of documentaries, I know some friends of ours, Brad and Maggie, are going to be speaking at Hack Your Health. I'm looking forward to meeting them in person. I had Brad on the channel talking about the documentary he's working on, Cancer Evolution. It's just an incredible series he's putting together.
So they are actually opening the show on Friday. They're the first speakers on Friday. They're going to be showing a clip of their documentary. We're going to be showing a few in between speakers throughout the weekend. We're going to be showing a few clips of their documentaries, of their episodes. And they are giving away access to all of the attendees for their first episode for free. And we're working on the details of all of that to reach everybody. Yeah. They're pretty amazing. Maggie's story is just mind-blowing. Really. Yeah. I'm really honored and really proud that they are participating and sharing what they've, sharing their journey. It's just going to help reach so many people.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big proponent of what they're doing. I shout it from the rooftops. I think everyone that's diagnosed with cancer should at least have what they're talking about as an additional tool in their toolbox.
Yes.
What advice, Robin, do you have for attendees, first-time attendees, to get the most out of Hack Your Health?
Wear comfortable shoes. Try not to let all of the activity overwhelm you. There's plenty of time during the 3 days for you to hear everything, to meet people. You shouldn't feel like you're in a rush. If there are two speakers on different stages at the same time and you want to see both of them, we are recording all of the content and you'll be able to get access to that after the event. I would recommend when you go to these different exhibit booths, know that many times the people that are standing behind the table are the founders of these companies. So they saw a need for something in their own lives and developed something to meet that need and have built a life and a business around that. They're no different than you and I. But meeting them in person makes a big difference. Understanding why they're doing it and what they're doing and, their goals for their products and that kind of stuff makes a big difference. And it will help you learn, but it also means a lot to them. What else? I would just say to try and take it like one step at a time. It can be super overwhelming. I get it when you walk into a big space like that. But look for people that you recognize from online. Don't be afraid to speak to people. I know Emily last year you were approached by a lot of people. I think that if you bear in mind that everybody is there for the same reason, nobody is there competing against each other or against anyone else. They're really, if they're already well, they're there because they want to share it. And if they're on a journey to learn more, they're there to share that as well. So I would say try to find ways to introduce yourself to other people, to introduce yourself to people that you see online, and feel free to introduce yourself to me. And I'm happy to introduce you to anybody else that you want to meet.
Yeah, it was a huge connector piece. One of my clients really wanted to meet Dr. Barry, and he was there that year. I was able to kind of make that connection, and I just love that folks that have been in SBG for years and have listened to our stuff for years. For me, I had my celebrity moments that are just people I was surprised I didn't know that were there. Anita, ketogenic woman, was there. I was like, oh, I know her. And so for me, my starstruck was actually YouTubers. Those were my starstruck moments because these are people I've never texted with, engaged with, message with, anything like that. They're just someone I watch on my screen. And then the other one last year was the Indigo Nilly was there. I was like, oh, I know her too. And so, those were just like these recognizing kind of moments. And so it was, we'll get our little celebrity takes as well. Yeah.
You just reminded me of, I don't know why it reminded me, but there's a new company joining us this year called Beauty and the Broth. And it's bone broth. And she's going to be serving bone broth throughout the whole weekend. So I'm excited about that because I love bone broth. And I think it'd be great for people to have that, throughout the day, especially, people who are fasting and that kind of stuff, to have some access to something like that during the event is going to be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were a lot of kind of photo op. Dr. Baker, it seems like wherever he went, just a big line would just kind of form.
Yeah, that's true.
And so we could kind of, hang out and talk. I have a tip for all the ladies. Get your picture taken next to Dr. Baker. You will feel like a Barbie doll. This is what I recommend. I like cherish my picture. Like, I just always want to be photographed next to him.
It makes you feel small for sure.
Yeah. So fun.
I'm also looking forward to meeting some of the YouTubers. I know Robin, our shared friend Dante Ferrigno, is going to be there.
Yes.
That's going to be awesome. I know so many people on my channel are like, I found carnivore through Dante, and then I watched some Dr. Berry videos, but that man has inspired so many people, myself included, to start keto carnivore diet. So I'm looking forward to meeting him there for sure.
Yes, he's a very gracious individual. I really like him. I like how passionate he is about everything that he's discovered. He's going to influence a lot of people.
Absolutely. And we're also filming him for the documentary, so that's going to be
you
fun
are?
too.
Okay. Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I like the shirt.
Thank you. Here's a question from Nurse Kim. Any companies who do testing that will be there, like visceral fat, etc.?
Body Spec will be doing DEXA scans to measure that. I don't have any companies that make scales or anything like that. I don't think we have anybody that is bringing any type of calipers or anything like that. So it's mostly Body Spec. Yeah.
All right. Hey, our friend Rebecca, she said, I made some of my bestest friends at KetoCon 2023. Best experience ever.
Oh, thank you. I'm really glad to hear that.
Colleen said, question, do we register for the hula hoop or functional movement class at the event?
Yes. So they are on the schedule. So you just need to, on the app, the schedule will be there as a reminder as well. So you just need to be there a few minutes, like 5 minutes before the class starts, 10 minutes before the class starts. There's plenty of space to accommodate all those people.
Starstruck by you, Emily in Tennessee. You're amazing.
Aw, you guys are so great. I love meeting y'all.
And we had a question from Carnivore Scott. Will there be an internet cafe Wi-Fi, and is it secure?
There is public Wi-Fi at the venue, and it's secure as any public Wi-Fi. And there is, I would love to say it's called a cafe, but I mean, we're in a convention center, so it is a concession area. I work really, really hard with the curators of the concession area. The Palmer Event Center has a contract with a company called Levy Catering, and they control all of that. But they will be serving coffee and drinks and approved by Robin food entrees.
Well, and right across the street,
Yes.
there's something glorious. Let's touch on that.
Yes. So the Palmer Event Center is right across the street from a restaurant called Terry Black's, which is rated one of the top barbecue restaurants in the country. So, yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, lots within walking distance too. Fogo de Chao is not too far away. We've been kind of scoping out the maps and seeing what's around.
Yeah, there's a lot nearby for sure. And the hotels, all the hotels that we got room blocks with are within a mile and a half from the Palmer Event Center. And as you experienced, Emily, I mean, Austin's a pretty walkable city.
Very.
There's a beautiful park across the street from the convention center. And the river, it's beautiful down there for sure. And I've got my fingers crossed that the weather will be nice, still be nice in May. The year that we were there in July was brutal. It was 112 degrees.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. And that year we had a couple of keto ice cream companies at the event.
Oh.
Interesting.
Robin, do you have a memorable story from the past several years of running Hack Your Health that really stood out to you?
I'm going to try and come up with something positive, because when you say memorable, it makes me think of what we went through in 2020. I'm trying to decide if I should share that or not. So when COVID happened, we had to cancel the event. And there's a huge backstory to that. But when we did that, there was a lot of people who were upset that we did it. And we had to enforce our no refund policy. And that's what they were upset about. So I will share with you that the fact that I'm still doing this when I tell you what happened is a testament to how dedicated I am to making sure that we continue doing this. Someone decided that it would be funny to create a social media account to disparage me and Ryan. And they used my picture, Ryan's picture, our social media account, to accuse us of stealing people's money, of frauding people. I mean, it was bad. There were several influencers in the space that came out to publicly say how they thought that we should be refunding everybody. I took it to heart. It was really, really hard on me. It would have been very easy for me to quit and walk away from this saying, you know, these people are nuts. Everybody's mean. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. But instead, what I did was I went forward with acquiring the company from the previous owner, planning to continue to do the event without the money to do it.
Whoa.
Yeah, because I mean, what people don't understand is that event, I just took this whole thing in a totally different direction. I apologize.
Sure.
What people don't understand about event planning is that you pay for the event as you go. You book the venue, you pay for the venue. You put down a big deposit on the venue. And then as you book other things throughout the year, you pay for them as you do them. So when you get to the event, it's paid for. But if you get 6 months in and you have to cancel the event, by then 90% of everything's paid for. The money that's come in has gone back out to pay for the event. It's not like I'm sitting on, we're sitting on a pool of $1 million that we can just keep going and going and going. The event pays for itself every year. So the only reason I'm telling you that is because I think that people have a perception that this is this big conglomerate and, there's 10, 20 of us running this and, it's a big business and I'm making money on people. That is not the case. This is me, Ryan. I have somebody who manages social media for me and an AV partner. At the event, I have a volunteer coordinator. That's it. That's all of us doing all this. So this is a family business and I keep doing it because I watched my family, close family members die from ailments that could have been healed if they were metabolically healthy. I watched my father who had MS die because he couldn't give up eating junk food and he ended up aspirating. The MS didn't kill him. It was his food addiction that killed him.
Food addiction. Yeah. And that's featured in the conference this year. You have a whole dedicated food addiction panel.
Yeah. So it's important to me that at this phase of my life, that if I'm putting this much effort into anything, that it's making a difference. And so that's the reason why I keep doing it. The memorable story is that when I look back on how hard it was to get here, and now we're finally here, for me, that's memorable because it's a testament to how important this is to me and how important it is to have people like you supporting the event, being involved in it, speaking highly of your experience, and just continuing to help the movement move forward. So that's a memorable thing for me. Positive memories. I mean, I absolutely love bringing my granddaughter on the stage with me. I mean, it makes me more proud than anything else I could possibly do. To have that kind of an impact on younger generations. She sees what I'm doing as a woman, but she also sees the emphasis on health, and that's so important to me. If I think back to last year, I'm thinking of two things. Sean Baker standing in front of the RV Carnivore. Do you remember that?
Yes. I was going to talk about that, but I didn't know if we had something like that again. That was phenomenal.
He's going to be back. So he has
Greg,
56 feet long.
Yeah.
It's an RV that he has painted like the side of a cow with all the different cuts. And he has like this, he brings it on the expo hall floor and he sets up this canopy and barbecue and fake grass and chairs and stuff like he's camping. And it was a perfect place for Sean to go and meet with people. So Sean went and stood there to talk to him. And before I knew it, there was probably a line of 100 people waiting to talk to Sean. And he stood there for 3 hours talking to people. Yeah. And here's something else. Sean has never asked to be paid to speak at this event. He has always done it on his own dime, and he's just given to the community. That says a lot about who he is. Let's see, what else? Oh, God, there's so many things. I could go on all day. I know you guys don't have all day. We've been on here for 45 minutes. There's a lot of heartwarming things that happen at this event. Being able to give people like Emily a hug when you see them online all the time, totally different when you see them in person. Gosh, one year when we had, I can't remember the name of the company now, a steak company, where they were cooking New York strips all day long and sectioning them off and giving people tastes of steak. That's pretty amazing. You should have seen the line for that one. Yeah, it's just like, it's an all around very positive experience. It's like everything you would want to pack into a weekend.
It's hard to get any more positive than New York strips lined up for an entire day.
Yeah.
Right.
Or people handing out, carnivore snacks. Yeah. Pretty amazing.
Absolutely.
Colleen said, "So sorry to hear that happened to you, Robin." Yeah, I agree. I'm glad that you persevered for sure.
Yeah, me too. I don't think about it very often, but when it comes to my mind, I think it's important to take a minute and kind of like recognize, acknowledge what it takes to get here.
I feel like transformation comes from the desperate moments, those most desperate moments. It seems like the whole thing was headed for a big crash, and you pulled it out somehow and identified and invested yourself personally in that story. And it, has made a big difference in who all it has attracted.
Yeah. And isn't that what it's all about? Seeing how we can help other people.
Yeah, I absolutely love that your mission behind all of this, Robin. Similar to Dante, I think similar to us, is that I don't know anyone listening to this that doesn't know someone that has poor metabolic health and has suffered or died young from a heart attack or other issues that they probably didn't need to. It's so important to get the word out. I guess a question I had was, for the wider community that maybe can attend, how can they help if they share that same mission as you? How can they help get the word out? Is there anything they can do beyond attending the event if they can't make it?
Tell everybody that you know. Talk about it. If you can't make it and if you're interested in the recorded content, you'll be able to access that. And then as far as like outside of the event, but just the movement in general, I'm not one to tell be in social situations, say, oh, I can't eat that, I'm on a diet or whatever. I don't really talk about what I do in that way. It's a lifestyle to me. But I think that if you see people that need help and they ask you, if they bring it up, that direct them to things like Healing Humanity, direct them to things like the Hack Your Health website or to speakers, content, just direct them in a way that they can find the information themselves and plant the seed for them. Wouldn't you agree, Emily? There's
1,000%. And what I love about your event is that it's, we have a lot of great events out there, and some of them are MD only. And I feel like, Robin, you're very in touch with the voice of the people, okay? And people's stories who maybe don't have certain letters behind their names. And there's all features do have that have that training, but the value is in stories and personal stories, personal transformation. I love that mix that you have kind of gathered around, so everybody feels like they're a part of it. And I felt like that too. Even the audience speaker connection was just very connected, and you felt that energy went through every ounce of the venue. So
yeah,
it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Carnivore Werewolf, $10 super chat. Thank you so much. This will be my second time there. Looking forward to meeting you all.
Awesome.
Question, is Hack Your Health in Texas every year? I'm new to this.
It has been in Austin since 2017. And we will be in Austin in 2024.
Ooh.
All right, one more question. Robin, what do you believe that Hack Your Health's biggest flaw or something that you personally would like to change?
Hack Your Health's biggest flaw. Well, the biggest flaw is probably in me, and that I'm always trying to get as much as I possibly can. And sometimes I overdo it into the event. And I think that the only downside is the venue that I use. It's really hard to find a venue that can support an event like this. I'd love to see a venue that doesn't feel like a convention center inside, that's more warm and welcoming. And I've been on the hunt for that for a long time. Flaws about the event. Again, I keep going back to me. I have a hard time saying no to people, so I include a lot of stuff in this event. And I probably overdo it. That would probably be my biggest flaw about this. I mean, I'd love to see other things incorporated into it, but it's super expensive. Emily, when you attended last year, what did you feel like was missing?
Oh man, to me it was power packed. I felt like it was suitable to whatever personality you had. Like it is suitable to an extrovert like me that wanted to be hyper and meet everybody and jump up and down, but it was suitable to have, some quiet spaces too. And because a lot of my friends that go are kind of on that introverted side, and there was space for that. So, and I thought the flow, you are so attentive to not creating so much chaos that people are mixed. So there was good flow. There's good food nearby. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. I was thrilled. I was absolutely thrilled.
Thank you. I'm open to constructive criticism always.
Oh, yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah, for sure.
So we have a lot of people on and that have joined since we started. If you're interested in learning more or attending Hack Your Health, you can visit hackyourhealth.com, and we have a promo code in the description, SBG. I guess one of the last questions I had for you, Robin, is what do you see for Hack Your Health in the next couple of years, I guess, and or carnivore, keto? It seems to me like it's really exploding and getting bigger and bigger. Is that what you're seeing as well?
I am seeing that as well. What's next for carnivore? I mean, I'm hoping that we will get out of the diet dogma camps and that we won't look back and say, well, that was another fad. I'm hoping that that's the case. I mean, that's one of the goals of doing what I do, is to help. I mean, if we bring all these different groups of people who kind of identify with these different diet camps, bring them all together and make them realize there's really no difference between us. We're just following a variation of the same thing. I'm hoping we move away from that and that this is not a fad. It won't be for me, that's for sure. And what's next for us, for Hack Your Health? I can't really tell you what I have planned for 2025. But there will be some changes and a lot of improvements, a lot of big things for 2025. But our focus is still going to be the same. So it's just adding more to the event.
The passion project in your heart is so invested, and you're watching these things and adjusting to, how things are going to go smoothly. I stand in awe. Coordinators, I'm just like, wow.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, Robin, I can't even imagine organizing something like this. I was struggling to organize a little one here at our small town movie theater with 100 people and one doctor. It's amazing the number of people you have. I'm really looking forward to attending. Thank you so much for doing this, Robin. Is there anything else you'd like to mention or shout out before we wrap things up?
I don't think so. I thank you for having me, and thank you for participating in the event. I'm really excited about all of it. So Thank you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Robin.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for everyone for all your great questions. Have a great day.
Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.